Your host for the evening is Civil Beat's video producer, Kuʻu Kauanoe. She is usually behind the camera recording this event and producing all the video content for Civil Beat. But tonight, she will introduce each storyteller as well as share her own story on what it means to be local. Ku'u was born and raised in Waimanalo on the Hawaiian homestead. She moved to the west side in her teens, graduating from Kapolei High School and then University of Hawaii at West Oahu. Her greatest calling is serving her community through visual storytelling. When she's not making videos or tweeting or shooting photos for our reporters, Ku'u is singing karaoke with her friends or hanging out at her papa's house. Welcome, Ku'u.
Aloha Maikou, thank you so much for joining us today. I just wrote a little something about what it means to be local to me. Undeniable. When I look in the mirror, I want it to be undeniable. I've always had this dark skin that never understood why people had to go tanning. I've always had this dark hair that curls at even the slightest whiff of ocean air or the brunt of West Side heat. And dark eyes that replay memories like the VHS tape of home videos showing kids playing on the beach, cousins soaking up the sun. And even as I stand here before you, looking through these eyes and with this skin and with this hair, you'd think it would be undeniable, right? Before I could even open my mouth, you probably thought, that's a local girl right there. And I am, I guess, but just because I look local doesn't make me the authority of what that means. And that's why I'm scared. Standing in front of you all with your invisible clipboards, check boxes empty, pens ready to try to figure it out. Is she local? As if that's something measurable, counting the number of letters in my name. As if it's something tangible, like the high school I graduated from or the stickers I got on the back of my car. As if it's better to be local because what would happen if I wasn't? So before you write me off, before you uncap your pens, can we have a conversation about what it means to be local and not just a guessing game of who is and isn't? Let's see. Does she like poke? I wish I could say that I like poke. I'm sorry. But to the dismay of the fishermen in my family, I actually don't eat seafood. I'm sorry. What else? Can she surf? Okay. I wish I could say that I like to surf, but I have no upper body strength to even paddle me out. Can she chi-hu? I wish I could say that I have a strong chi-hu, but obviously by the way that I just said that, I don't. But you look like a local girl, and yeah, I do, but I wish I could say that I didn't compare myself to other local girls. You know, the ones with the long hair and the surfer bodies and the light skin. They always looked perfectly mixed, not too much of one thing. I always felt like I was too dark, too curvy, too Hawaiian. As if it's easier to be local than it is to be Hawaiian, and hey, maybe it is because it's hard to be Hawaiian in Hawaii. As if being Hawaiian automatically made me the localist. So I just remember going to high school and presenting like a local girl. I had tita buns and basketball shorts after wrestling practice. My Honda Accords presets was always set to Island 98.5 or KCCN FM 100. I used to skank with my cousins at the water park when it used to be called Hawaiian Waters. And I used to think I was hot shit in a $5 tube top from Jeans Warehouse. I thought that maybe if I looked this way, then maybe a local boy would like me. I tried so hard to look like that local girl because I thought that's who I am. I wish I could say that who I am doesn't waver at the slightest comment, at the simple question of, where are you from? Because sometimes it feels like people are asking, where do you belong? Like this one time when I was in college, I was working at a hotel and I was sitting in the most claustrophobic tiny break room when a coworker came up to me and asked me, Ku'u, where are you from? Oh, I'm from here. You are? Yeah. You just talk different. Talk different. Were the 8 letters in my first name not enough? K-U, Okina U, A-L-O-H-A. Isn't that from here? How is my voice betraying me? My voice wouldn't even come out. I was choking on it, stunned that I had to use my words to explain who I am, but those same words lunging back at me, telling me that I couldn't be from here. So I didn't say anything. I just remember my Pohnpeian father, English words dripping out of his mouth, his mind trying so hard to catch them, his daughter thinking that he was just a quiet man, my whole life thinking he had nothing to say. But that's wrong. See, he had a lot to say. He was just choking too on someone else's alphabet, stuffed down his indigenous throat, bile rising up at their meeting, mouth pressed shut, only ever opening to tell me to speak good English. Maybe he thought that if he didn't share his language with me, then I could fit in. Like, be from this place, honey girl, because if you're not from here, you're not local, especially if your dad's from Micronesia. I remember this other time when I was talking to someone who wasn't from here at the same hotel. A guest, she asked me, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from here. Oh, I was just gonna say, you don't sound like everyone else. Don't sound like everyone else here. My own voice sabotaging me of my identity and stealing me away from the people that I care about. Telling her that I'm not from here, no way. Too high, too proper. Are you from California? Hell no. Hell no. And that makes me want to scream because when you think about your voice, it comes from the lungs inside of you. It's air that comes up and passes through your vocal folds to create your voice, my voice, passing through this whole brown body, and that wasn't good enough for you. My lungs filled with ea, not air, ea, and that still wasn't good enough for you. Ea that has been blessed with the sense of Waimanalo and Waianae, and that still wasn't good enough for you. Ea that sits on top of my na'au that tells me that I'm from this place, that this is my home, that I belong here. How can you not see how much this Aina has breathed into me to even let this voice come out? How dare you think that I could be from anywhere else when it's so obvious that I am from here? How dare you not see that this voice is not just mine, but my mother's and her mother's and her mother's that I'm named after? How could I do this work if you thought I wasn't from here? How could I tell the stories of my people if you don't think I'm like them? But again, I said nothing. all of these things that I wish I said and I wish I could be, but all I can do is be here in this place, my home, Hawaii. This place that birthed me, this place that cradles my being and coos at my soul, lullabies sung just for me by Waimanalo waves and families laughing on the homestead, the Ko'olau Mountains and high Hawaii floating over my head. When I close my eyes and I think of home, I see cousins swimming and laughing at Waimanalo Bay. My feet digging into the sand to steady myself against the current of other people's judgments and the clap of their clipboard. Reaching past the dirt, past the sand, past the rock, all the way up to Kauai, where my grandmother's from, and all the way down to Hawaii Island, where my grandfather's from. History written on my arms so I can remember the people that have ushered me into this life. This dark skin that only ever gets darker, blessed by law. Hair that only continues to curl. These eyes, still dark, but beacons of light from generations and generations of aloha glowing. This voice, finally mine, shared with all of you. This is me in the mirror, and it's undeniable. Thank you.